So it's another super cold morning here, and I'm outside. You can see I've got bonus pink hood on top of my regular sort of like Icelandic hood. But I did want to try to get something for you guys. So we live not in the country, but we live sort of like away from the city, I guess. And we live on a main road, unfortunately, but if we weren't on a main road, our town is relatively small and kind of out of the way. It's only about 2,900 people. And like I said, we have a decent amount of land, and everything around us is farms. And so there aren't a lot of neighbors and there isn't a lot of noise. And every now and then, when there isn't a car going by on the main road, which isn't that often, but earlier in the morning it happens more often, and certainly at night, it gets super quiet, and I just wanted to try to capture that on video. I think it's happening. Lasted for like a second, then you got more cars coming. Another large problem is that our field rolls downhill towards a turn in the road, which is right out there. And unfortunately, sound kind of rolls uphill. And so you can hear cars coming from way around that corner before you can even see them. The moon's still out though. That's pretty cool. Propane tanks got topped off. That's good. I always leave my tools out on the back porch, my power tools, because I'm always working on random little projects and I never know when I'm going to need them. But now that it's getting colder, I have a feeling that I'm going to be doing fewer projects, so these should probably go inside at some point today. My wife just went to go grab breakfast. What is going on? What is this? My wife went to go grab breakfast, so I'm watching the kid. If you're wondering why he's never been in any of these videos, it's because YouTube has these new weird rules around children's content, but then they also have rules around children in content. And frankly, nobody is really sure exactly how those are going to be implemented. There's this like legalese document that you can read that means absolutely nothing. Plus YouTube tends to not even follow their own rules as they're announced anyways. And so you kind of just have to assume that they're going to figure out a way to screw you over no matter what, which is unfortunate. And it's happened to some people that are obviously much larger than I on the platform, so I'm not going to mess around with it. So he probably won't be appearing in any videos. However, he is real. Here's like his hand. And that's him talking. Yep. See, there's your hand. That's a hand. Now, if this video gets taken down for a hand, I'm going to have some real questions. So this is going to be a quick little video update. Unfortunately, as I mentioned yesterday, I don't really have any ideas for any further changes that I want to add to myself as part of this challenge. I came in with about 10 different changes that I wanted to add, and I was actually better at implementing them than I thought I would be. Not to brag or anything, it's been difficult, but I thought I would have to sort of like take it maybe 2 days at a time or something. And I didn't. I kind of just added one a day and I stuck with it, and I've been sticking with them pretty well ever since. There's a few bumps that I've hit. Some are a little more challenging than others to stick with, but I've been doing okay and I've been feeling pretty okay with it. And I've definitely been seeing some progress in various areas. So I actually have this tracker on my phone that I use called To Do that I'm actually just going to, there you go. I'm actually just going to run through real quick and give you an update on how I've been doing. And other than that, that's pretty much going to be the whole video for today. I'm a little tired today, did a lot today, but yeah, I wanted to make sure I got you guys an update video. So as far as the cleaning every day, I've been trying to stick with it. It was a little tricky at first because I gave myself 30 minutes a day when I first set the challenge. And it turns out I didn't need that. I needed 30 minutes the first night, and then maybe 10 minutes the second night, and then maybe 5 minutes a night every night after that. And so that ended up just being spare time that I had that I really try, as much as it sounds kind of terrible, I try not to have any spare time, because when I have spare time, that's when I usually throw on some, crappy TV show that I've seen 1,000 times, or start doing something that I shouldn't be doing, scrolling through Reddit or something like that, and then I just sort of slip into a funk, and I end up missing other things that I should be doing that I could have just started earlier, Other than that, moving on, drinking a gallon of water a day, I'm doing pretty good with that. I've definitely been getting upwards of I would definitely upwards of half a gallon. Absolutely more than half a gallon a day. I haven't hit a gallon every day, but I'd say I've gotten over 100 ounces a day. If you don't know, a gallon is 128 ounces. I've definitely gotten over 100 ounces a day. So I'm doing pretty good, say 4/5 of the way there every day. And that's been feeling pretty good. I like it. I like being off of soda and coffee and energy drinks and stuff like that. I definitely feel better, less bloated because of that. Eating out only once a week, that's been doing fine. I've been eating home cooked food, whether it's been something as simple as ramen or homemade pasta, meatballs. We did meatball subs for like half a week. That was really good. My wife's really good at cooking and baking, so she's been definitely helping me out in that category. But we've only ordered out on the weekends on Saturday, and only once because I only get to eat once a day. Last week we did pizza. Today we did some Popeyes chicken that I was really excited about because I love Popeyes chicken. I don't usually get to have it, so I got myself a nice big order of Popeyes chicken, French fries, and biscuits. Didn't get a soda because I'm not supposed to, and I enjoyed drinking it with juice. It was good, or juice. I call it Crystal Light juice. It's really water with some flavoring added to it. Moving on, eating, I should say, no caffeinated food or beverages. As I just mentioned, haven't had soda, coffee, energy drinks, any of that. Been feeling fine. Been feeling better than fine. Sticking to my one meal a day, eating between 10:30 and 12:30 every day, trying to stick to 2,000 calories or less. Definitely been doing that. Hasn't been hard at all. I kind of get really hungry going into 10 o'clock, but at that point it's like, all right, you've got half an hour to an hour left before you should really start eating. That's easy enough. I can make that work. Opening mail every day. This one's been iffy. I definitely want to do it. I need to get better at it. My issue is that sometimes I'll get the mail, sometimes my wife will get the mail, and it doesn't always end up in the same spot, so it doesn't always catch my eye. And even though I have this tracker on my phone, I'm not always the best about remembering it. I do need to get better at that. That is something that I want to continue to do. As far as the reading every day goes, 30 minutes at night before bed is usually when I do it. That's been great. I already finished the first book that I read, or wanted to read, which was Astrophysics in a Hurry by Neil deGrasse Tyson. The second book I'm reading, I can't remember the name of it, but it's the latest book by Ben Shapiro. If you don't know him, he's a conservative, semi-libertarian political pundit / talking head. He has a YouTube show that he does daily. Definitely right-leaning. If you're not into right-leaning mind thought, or if you can't stand it at all, you probably won't like him. But he has some views that I actually think are pretty interesting and pretty solid. He has others that I disagree with entirely. So I just like reading various different viewpoints from different sort of sides of the aisle when it comes to politics and just, sort of ideology in general, philosophy. And I like reading about philosophy, sociology, everything, physics, a lot of academic studies, current affairs, politics, stuff like that. Oddly enough, I really like fiction and fantasy and sci-fi. I just can't read them for some reason. I don't know why. I just can't get into them unless it's like something having to do with a game. If it's like D&D or Iron Kingdoms or Fate, I can totally get into. Those are all games, by the way, if you don't know, tabletop games played by nerds like me. Those are all things I can totally get into. Like, I can read the entire world history of a non-fictional land that never existed and all of the creatures and politics and religion that exist within it. But I can't pick up like the Shannara Chronicles or even Harry Potter. I feel like I would stumble through, but who knows, after I'm done with this challenge and I've read a few books that are a little more my taste, maybe I'll be able to breeze through those as well, which is great because that'll really open me up to more stuff. After this book, I think I'm going to pick up, I actually already have it, I think I'm just going to start reading it. Jocko Willink wrote a book called Extreme Ownership. If you don't remember him, I mentioned him before. He's a Navy SEAL who got really into sort of helping people after he got out of the SEALs, helping people sort of like better control their lives, take responsibility for themselves, take actions to improve their life, generate better habits, all things that you would learn like through Navy SEAL training. He wanted to apply to people in general that didn't have that kind of training to help them improve their lives. And it's really well rated. I think it's won a few awards. And he talks to people he talks to the head of corporations and huge like management groups, people that really need to know this stuff. And they all seem to think that he's very, very useful. So I say very useful, like, people in general aren't useful. He's got a lot to offer. And so I'm interested to read this book. After that, we've got record, edit, and upload a video every day. Been sticking to that. I hate that I keep doing it late in the evening. I'm just really bad about putting what to me is the most time-consuming thing off until like the end of the day. I really need to get better at that, but at least I'm getting it done. I mean, a video a day, I, again, don't want to brag, but it's hard. It's really hard, even though like these come down sometimes between like 5 and 10 minutes. It probably takes me like half an hour to 40 minutes to shoot because I have to do retakes and I goof stuff up and I didn't have the lighting right, or the mic wasn't on, or the mic wasn't set right. And so by the time I get it filmed and then I go back inside, I spend like an hour to an hour and a half editing it because I'm still working on getting my editing flow down and I'm not as experienced as some people. So I get the editing done and then I encode it, which takes 10 to 15 minutes, and then I upload it, which takes 15 minutes to 20 minutes, and then you guys see it. So all said and done, it's like 2 to 3 hours of work to get these videos up every day. And that's with like bare minimum quality. Like as you can see, it's not like I'm running around all day getting tons of footage. It's usually just me here with a couple of quick shots from, you know, around the house or the yard, or some stills that I'm able to grab off the internet. I'm working on getting better. It's time consuming. Taking my multivitamin every day, that's one that I have to work on. I kind of goofed that one at first. I didn't have the right schedule in mind. I thought I was going to take it in the morning when I first woke up, and then I heard from a few people that it's actually not good to take multivitamins with no food in your stomach because they can have a somewhat acidic effect, and just having that multivitamin by itself sitting in your stomach against your stomach lining while it dissolves with no food to kind of cushion it, and also no food to metabolize too, it's not the best way to do it. And so I've moved that to taking it with my lunch, with my food at lunch, but now I have to remember to do that because that's not initially how I thought I was going to be doing it, and now that's kind of throwing me off. But I am going to try to take it every day no matter what. Even if I remember at 9 o'clock at night, tough, I'm going to take it. After that, we've got taking, editing, and uploading a photo every day. That's been tricky. I haven't had the creative motivation to go out and get any shots worth taking, and as much as I believe, and I said this in my video when I was talking about it, and I still believe it, that if you make even a little bit of effort, you can get something, anything worth editing and uploading. I just haven't been able to do it. I don't know why. It's probably just laziness, really, is all. And it's freezing cold out. I'll give myself that benefit. But other than that, I need to make it happen. I have an idea to come out tonight and try to get a shot of the stars. I recently read an article on astrophotography, and I think the lens that I have right now, the one that I'm shooting on right now, would actually work really well for it. So I'm going to give that a shot tonight. I might not post it tonight, but I'm going to take it tonight. And if at the very least, I'll post it in the morning. And you know, whatever, we'll count it as tomorrow's photo. We'll give myself the fail for today. We'll count it as tomorrow's. Waking up between 4 and 4:30. I've gotten this every day since I decided to start doing it, other than today and yesterday. Unfortunately, today I woke up having realized I forgot to set my alarm last night. Totally on me. The night before, however, was not on me, I want to say. I just had a really rough night. My wife wasn't sleeping well. She was kind of tossing and turning. That was keeping me up. The dog was acting really hyper for some reason. That was keeping me up. The baby woke up in the middle of the night, which he does, but sometimes he makes it all the way through the night, and one can hope, but that wasn't one of those nights. So I just had a really restless night, and by the time I woke up in the morning, I was feeling woozy and almost like I was going to get a migraine. So I just went back to bed for another hour and a half, and I felt better when I woke up. And then last two, working out every day. That's been going really well. It's hard. I'm trying to push myself really hard. I only do 15 minutes, but I try to make it as a difficult 15 minutes as I can. I'm using kettlebells and body weight workouts. When I first started, I was doing all lower back and lower body because those are the things that are most important for roller derby. Everything's important. It's a full body contact sport, but lower body and lower back I feel like are heavily utilized. But I was burning those muscles out doing that every day, so now I've switched to 1 day of lower body and lower back, then 1 day of upper body and upper back, and then 1 day of cardio. I do that twice, and then on Sundays, which is the 7th day, I have roller derby practice. And that's kind of a fully inclusive, 2-hour-long, hyper-aggressive, full contact workout. And that's great. So that works out really well. And I have been losing weight between the dieting, or the diet changes, and the working out. I've been losing about a ½ pound a day, which is really solid, and I'm happy about that. And then lastly, last two. Tomorrow is going to be my no electronics or no social media day. I'm going to stick to that as aggressively as I can. Obviously, because of my job and because I have family that might have an emergency, I might have to pick up the phone just to answer a call. But I'm hoping to not really have to deal with any kind of like messaging or social media or random chats. Scrolling through Facebook, scrolling through Reddit. I'll post my video and I'll post to Instagram, but other than that, I'm gonna try to steer clear of everything. I'm not gonna sit down in front of the TV. I'm gonna try to do stuff around the house. I'm gonna try to read a little extra, maybe do some errands, but you know, just take a day away from the digital world and kind of just live normally for a day. And then lastly is with a challenge that I added yesterday, which is doing about 10 minutes on Duolingo every night trying to learn Greek. I have the app downloaded, it's all set up, I just need to stick to it. So I haven't made much progress so far yet. Obviously, 1 day is not going to get you very far, but I'm hoping that that'll get me to the point of having casual conversation with my wife's family. So anyways, yeah. Sorry again that I don't have a change to add today. I may not have any going forward into the future. We'll see. If you guys have any, feel free to comment down below and I can give them a look. But other than that, everything's going pretty good, and I'm hoping to stick with what I've decided to do so far. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the videos up until now, and hopefully you continue to check them out for my updates. I'll still post every day. But yeah, thanks for checking this video out. If you haven't yet, feel free to go down below and subscribe. Make sure you click the notification bell and set it to all. Otherwise, it really doesn't do anything. It's kind of just a false bell. And that way you'll be notified every time I post. Other than that, thanks for checking this video out, and I will see you guys tomorrow.